Go.
Kira,
Yes.
do you remember the first time that Jude inspired you when you were in the band? Jude, do you remember the first time that Kira inspired you when you were in the band?
Yeah.
Jude inspires me in the studio when he turns his guitar up so loud. So we turn all the guitars up and then it's so loud and it's so good.
It works. It does
Okay,
work.
what's yours?
I'd say the time, like the first time that kind of stands out for when Kira inspired me was when we were in recording Fake ID, and it was like the shout for These Streets. Aye, that's it. Aye, sorry, forgot the lyrics there. Because it was like a really powerful kind of moment to go like, oh, there's a second song here that's actually gonna go fucking mad here. Like there's an opportunity here. So I would say that was a pretty stand. Aye. Point.
How confident were you when you went in to record that song? The follow-up.
See, the thing was with that song was like we actually recorded it twice.
Yeah, we recorded it twice, and like, it was a strange one because me and Alex kind of went into it like a wee bit.
You never knew it.
Yeah, we didn't really.
We didn't even know the song when we recorded it.
We'd only really heard like an acoustic kind of version.
Yeah.
So when we went in to record Fake ID, it was very fresh, like really fresh. So, but it was. As soon as kind of we got the grips of it, it was.
The first time we recorded it, I would have said like it would have been it was like totally different. It was like a lot like I don't know, like drier.
Yeah,
kinda, like more like sports teams kind of.
Yeah, it was. And then totally different.
The second time we went in, we were like, right, okay, this is just getting fully changed.
Yeah.
And it was definitely like more us. I think.
Big time. Yeah, definitely.
It's interesting what you're saying is all about turning up the amps.
Yeah.
How important is it when you're in that space creating that you can make as much noise as possible?
Yeah, we like to like pure scream and stuff. Me and Emily do. Well, I like to anyways. But I think because Alex like pure plays the drums, like he pure smashes the drums.
He doesn't hold back.
And then you turn up your bass, and then the next thing you know, me and Emily's amps are so loud, and it's really good because it's like it's just so much noise and it's so fun. I think it's like a good energy as well.
Yeah.
So,
like, especially like when you do the whole screams and the whole and everything's like with the stops throughout the songs and stuff.
It's pure exciting as well though when everything is like pure loud.
It's just very energizing.
And then it doesn't even matter if it sounds like kind of rubbish because at least it was like loud.
Can you get close to some of the thing when you're in the studio? Like, will you ever kind of test that out in the live room, or do you track all the parts individually?
When we do what, like demos or like?
When you're in the studio recording a song, how do you kind of capture that atmosphere? You know, if you're tracking parts on your own.
I don't know, like when we actually go in to record stuff, like it's always like drums first and then and then all the guitars. But like if we were to do like demos and stuff like that, like me and Emily would usually like do something rough, and then like Emily's always quite heavy on the guitar, isn't she?
Yeah.
And then when we go into the studio, it all kind of changes. But like
when we are in the studio, it's like it's straight because we don't really get that kind of loudness until it kind of produced.
The end.
Like
and then like once all the levels have been sorted out, it's like it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's really good.
You then get that, but when you're actually like playing it and kind of
when you listen to like other side, like I can remember because obviously that was the first song we done. When we got the mix back for that, we were like, whoa, this is so good, this is so good. And then when you go back and listen to it now, compared to like the actual final one, you're like. But yeah.
With I Don't Care as well, you wrote quite a few of the lyrics kind of 5 minutes before you were going into the studio.
Yeah. What was we actually do that all the time.
As a case of,
I know.
We better get this done.
I know. I'm trying to even think what part it was. Was it not like the bridge bit? It was that bit. It was the bridge. That's just it sums us up, to be honest. Like we go in, the last time we went in to do the studio, like we wrote half the lyrics the same day we wrote it. 5 minutes before. I know we were until like 10, 11 o'clock.
It was that was definitely a gig.
So yeah.
Do you feed off that pressure, do you think?
I think I do.
If you're able to do that again, you know, when you're going in for like the third time and you're able to do it again right before you go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say we do. I think it's like we do last minute things a bit too often. Like,
I know, I think so too. But it always seems to work out for us though, because then like it's that way that it's like I feel like sometimes I think about things for too long. Like I'm like, oh, this sounds really good, and I listen to it, and I'm like, nah, I don't like it. I don't like it. So like, if I just go in and like, right, quick, go and do it, then like I've not really got a lot of time to think about it. So.
You never like anything. So
You've spoken in the past as well about how that song feels like it could be a part, of a coming of age soundtrack to a film. What coming of age films did you relate to growing up?
Wow. Like,
I don't know. See, like a new one that I kind of like is Ladybirds. Have you seen that?
I've not
I
even
watched
seen
it on the
no.
plane. I was like, this is such a good song for like Ladybird or something. It's like, I don't know, it's just like pure like angsty teenagers into it, and I was like, that is like so for this song. But I don't know what ones like, what even ones is there?
I don't know, I'm trying to think. Like, I'm not a big movie man, so I'm not.
See the
I'm
bit
not
like,
too
see
sure.
like the guitar solo and like I Don't Care as well. I think like see the bit in Perks of Being a Wallflower, and she's like, it's Heroes and it's David Bowie, and she's like in the car. Imagine that, but like with the guitar solo of I Don't Care. It's like it'll fit so good, I think.
But
yeah.
I see that.
I don't know any like what I would relate to.
I'm not too sure on that one.
Yeah.
You might not be a big movie fan, but you're a big football fan. You play football, right?
Yeah.
You played football a lot growing up in your teenage years, I imagine.
Yeah.
Where do you see that competitive spirit in your music? Do you feel like that's present in there in any way, in the way you approach music?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like just kind of because like, when you're going through football, like I feel like you kind of develop an attitude. So like when you are on stage and you're performing and stuff, I think it is like you kind of put that on like into your performance. So. But like because I was like captain and stuff, so yeah, I do put that right in. Like it's just a case of like, nah, this is what we're doing here, and like this is how we're doing it. So
similar kind of drive.
Yeah.
The competitive side is like more like I think like with myself, like I'm like, okay, this song needs to do better than the last one. Do you know what I mean? Like it's never that I want to do better than anybody else. Like it's always I'm like, okay, this song needs to do better than the last one.
Yeah. We always wanted to kind of outdo your last song. So yeah, I would definitely say it's brought in. Yeah.
How does that factor for your first single? What were your expectations of that prior to it being released?
The first one was like, I was so nervous when we were bringing out Other Side, and then like the kind of day that it was coming out, I was like, no one's going to like it, like no one's actually going to like it, and then just it was the opposite. Like that is bit like that. I can never like ever expect like a reaction to like any other song to that, because that was just like it came out and then
next thing you know, it was
everybody was
2,500
like,
streams.
I was like, whoa.
Within the first day.
I know.
So
that was amazing. We weren't expecting that at all.
No, not at all. It was like even before it was released and before it was even recorded, we didn't even have like the chorus or anything. Like again,
that was another one that we went into the studio and we hadn't like wrote half it as well. But yeah.
We mentioned earlier on as well that you recorded Fake ID twice. Did you re-record right after Other Side came out, or what was the decision behind that to go back in and redo
it? We recorded it like a couple of when did we record?
I think it was in August, and then we redone it in I think it was
September time, October.
I think it was just 2 months later. We kind of went, nah, we can do better here, kind of thing, and
because what even was it? It was Alex's drums. Like we got a message and it was like, Alex needs to come back in and do the drums, and then it was like the next day, no, Jude, can you please come in as well? And then I was like that to Emily, I was like, they're going to just get us to come back in and do it again, and then like it was like, you know what, just everybody come back in, we're doing it again. And so I think it was just like
definitely good choice.
I don't know, there was just something about it, like I think like it went up like a full two like keys like as well, and it was a bit faster.
Because we were listening and going, it's not really us, and then
it was just a bit like flat, if you know what I mean. But
then when we re-recorded, we were like, this is definitely it. Yeah, definitely.
But
you'd have played more live shows in between that as well. Didn't you do the Rascal in Touch show? You would have that in between those two recordings,
because it was, it would have been. It might have been actually about the same time that we re-recorded it.
I know, it must have been, because I remember playing it as well at that.
No, we did play it the old way, and it was a bit like, because it was very fresh, I don't think.
I think there's actually like a video of that somewhere on YouTube.
Yeah, there probably is.
And it probably sounds rubbish. Because like, I couldn't even sing it, like I'm usually the high harmony, like, because my voice sits quite high, and because it was like two like notes lower, I was like, when I was singing it, so Like, I could not sing it live.
These first 3 singles that you've put out all feel very kind of tied. You know, we've spoken a little bit about those teenage years, and they feel very evocative of that time. As you kind of move towards the end of those years and out of them, do you see your songwriting changing? Or are you beginning to see it developing, move in other directions?
Yeah, I would say so. Like, I think the one that we were just in recording one there, and that one, it's like, I don't know, almost.
It's really different.
It's like totally new kind of like sound and stuff. But I would say it sounds more mature. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. Is quite a mature kind of process for the last few songs. Yeah.
I think it's still got like the kind of like. I don't know, like I kind of like how there's a kind of youthness about like our songs.
Yeah.
I think it sets us apart for like quite a lot of other bands. It's still got that, but like it's a lot like it's different like for the other ones. I feel like we say that every time.
Oh no, we do.
But like I think like gradually with each song like we bring out, we're showing that we like develop and mature and all our songwriting and stuff like that.
Do you feel more confident now?
I feel like with every single song, like, oh, I don't know, but I don't know. I think it's good, but like, I just get nervous before every single song, like, about what the reaction's going to be. It's
one of those ones, it's just like you see everybody go, I love it, and Kira goes, you but, again. Every time.
You're pointing like you're making me out to be like a really bad person here.
When are you happiest making music and in the band?
I love like in the studio, like when we're messing about and like when something kind of clicks, or even like a good thing as well is like when say like me and Emily like bring in a song and then like we play it as a band, and then like I'll maybe say like, oh, why don't we do this here, or just like, okay, why don't we like do like a breakdown bit here, and then it like totally changes the song.
Yeah, it is.
Like I really like that.
Yeah, see, like going back to the one where we played this track, it was.
Yeah.
Remember we played that the first time, it all kind of clicked when we added in like the breakdown and stuff. We played it like 9 times on repeat. We're like, just do it again, just keep going.
Yeah, it's like it's good when you get to a bit like that.
Yeah.
We do that like a lot, like when all the new songs kind of come out. Like Other Side, every single time in the studio at Other Side and it all pure comes together, I'm like,
yes.
Oh, this is really good. But yeah.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank
cool.
you. Thank you.